Hi, my name is Jessamy Jones. I'm the Burnson Director of Education and Public Programs here at Philbrook Museum of Art. We are so excited about working with Any Given Child Tulsa and TPS again this year. Here at Philbrook Museum of Art, we will be working with all of the TPS third graders. We are so excited that you're coming. When you're coming on your visit to Philbrook, you'll be coming here for a 2-hour experience. While you're here, you'll be welcome to the museum. You'll get to come inside of the museum and visit our galleries. In our galleries, you're going to spend time looking at artwork and talking about artwork together. Sharing your ideas is really important. And then you'll also be going down into our studios and you'll be making your very own artwork based off of your own ideas. Our program was designed to intentionally foster confidence and creative thinking skills. So when we think of creative thinking skills, we're thinking of deep observation, the ability to ask questions, the openness to engage in playful experimentation, and the willingness to take risks and to try new things. And we hope that when your students leave Philbrook Museum of Art, that they'll have all of those experiences wrapped into one.
Hi, my name is Rachel Ann Dennis. I'm the Any Given Child Coordinator here at the Philbrook Museum of Art, and I'm here to talk to you about the Teacher Guide. The Teacher Guide is something that you'll be able to find on the TPS website, and it will also be emailed to you before your visit by our Any Given Child assistant. This guide is something that includes some really important information. One of the things we found last year during evaluation is that teachers who used the guide had greater impact for them and their students during their visit. Some of the things that the guide includes are the role of group leaders and chaperones during your visit, how to visit the museum, what will happen during your visit. You can also find pre and post activities that will help get your students ready to have an incredible experience. One of the things that we'll be using during the experience are thinking routines, and we've included those routines in our packet so that you guys can use them together in the classroom and practice them. We'll be talking about that more in a second.
Hi, I'm Roselle Tyner, Museum Educator for the Touring and Docent Program. I'm here to cover the nuts and bolts of your visit. Before you arrive, you will have received a packet, hopefully that you've already downloaded and read. But I just want to add a couple items to that. Make sure that you have your students divided into the appropriate number of groups as we request. If you have 80 students, we're going to ask for 8 groups. Please have them, when all possible, divided prior to your arrival at Philbrook. When you arrive, if you arrive before 9:30 or if you arrive between that time and 9:45, we ask you to remain on the bus. Someone from the museum will come out and check in with you to make sure that your students are pre-divided and ready to come in. Our docents will then take over. Our docents are the touring guides and will be leading your students through a marvelous adventure through our galleries. Students will be divided into 2 groups. Group A will be visiting the studio. Group B will be visiting the gallery. We ask that chaperones stay with the group, and the chaperones are here to help maintain order and to ensure that the students have a splendid visit while visiting Philbrook. One other thing, please make sure that you have name tags. Each child has a name tag, and that's so we can call out their names and say, oh, hey Bob, what are you thinking? Or hey Sue, what do you think? It really works well when we can call out the children by their names. Students will be visiting the gallery, and we will be implementing our thinking routines. The primary thinking routine we use in the gallery, and it's located in your teacher packet, is See, Think, Wonder. In a few minutes, we will be visiting the gallery to look at a selected artwork that your children will be viewing. We're going to go up to the gallery and give a little sample of our thinking routine, See, Think, Wonder. We hope you have a wonderful visit to Philbrook, and we can't wait to see you.
Hi, as Roselle mentioned earlier, when we're in the galleries, we're going to be utilizing a thinking routine with your students. A thinking routine, as the title explains, it's a routine. So the more you do it, the more you practice it, the more you use it with the students, the more they'll develop this habit of using this specific way of looking and thinking in their practice as learners. So Roselle and I are going to go ahead and practice See, Think, Wonder together to demonstrate what this experience will be like for you and your students on your visit. You can find See, Think, Wonder in your packet that you'll be receiving. And See, Think, Wonder is a thinking routine that was developed through Harvard Project Zero. So if you go to the Harvard Project Zero Artful Thinking website, they have many other thinking routines that you can utilize in your classroom across disciplines. Okay, Roselle, should we begin? I'm ready. Okay, so See, Think, Wonder is a very simple thinking routine. It involves 3 questions. 1, what do you see? So 1, what do you see that's happening here? What do you think? So what do you think about the work of art that you see? And then what do you wonder about? So this thinking routine provokes deep observation, it provokes the communication of ideas, and it also provokes the engagement of the student's imagination and a generative experience. All right, Roselle, let's talk about this work of art. Okay, Roselle, when you look at this work of art, what do you see?
I see lots of bright colors, I see motion, I see action, and then I see other really things that I'm curious about. I see, for me, this looks like a volcano with the fire erupting out of the top.
What makes you say that?
Well, because volcanoes have like a big old hole up the top, and there's that fire shooting out. There are the flames. And then I see like wind coming in, sweeping in, maybe to cool it off.
What makes you say that?
Well, because again, it has motion and it has movement and it's coming this way. But then I see a boat.
A boat?
I see a boat.
Tell me more about that.
Well, this looks like a boat. It's shaped like a boat, but it looks like it's splitting in half because it's right down the middle. But then what's really weird, looks like mountains back here with snow caps.
Great. So Roselle, so what do you think is going on in this work of art? You've talked about a volcano, you've talked about wind, you've talked about a boat, and maybe some mountains. What do you think is going on?
I think a lot is going on that I'm really still trying to figure out, because we come to the museum all the time with my family, and every time we come I see something different. So I'm not really sure what's going on.
Sometimes artwork can be confusing, and that's okay. I have one more question for you. Roselle, what does this work of art make you wonder about?
I wonder what the artist, how he felt when he was painting it, because it makes me happy, so I wonder if he was happy.
That's a great question. That's a great wonder to end on.
Thank you.
Roselle, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, as Roselle and I were modeling See, Think, Wonder, one of the things that you may have noticed is that I asked Roselle numerous times, what makes you say that? When Roselle started to talk about that this work of art looks like a volcano, or that she saw a boat, I asked her what makes her say that. By me asking her that, what makes you say that, is a thinking routine that helps provoke students to explain the thinking behind what they're saying. And you don't really need to know a lot about art, but it really is about digging in and describing what you see, what you think is going on, and what you wonder about. Anything else, Roselle?
And we'll be visiting 3 more artworks in the gallery on the tour. We'll see 1 3D piece, and then we'll look at another contemporary piece, and perhaps another painting. So 4 pieces total.
And as we mentioned, we'll be using See, Think, Wonder at each of those works of art, again, to make this thinking a habit for your students.
And don't forget your packet. It's in your packet.
Once you're done exploring art in the galleries with your students and your docent guides, your docents, your student groups are going to go downstairs to the art studio, and you are going to have the opportunity to practice the thinking routines that you used in the galleries downstairs in the studios while making art. One of the questions I often get is, well, how do you practice a thinking routine while you're making art? And that's something that you'll get to discover. One of the really cool things about a thinking routine is that you can use it in a lot of different ways. You can use it looking at art, you can use it with almost any curriculum in your classroom, and you can also use it while making. Some of the things you need to know while your students are in the studios is that each student is going to be making a unique piece of art that is completely their own. And each piece of art is going to look completely different. Students are also going to have the opportunity to explore and experiment with their own ideas. Sometimes that can be challenging. You'll see your students trying to figure out and manipulate some materials that are really familiar to them and some that are new. At the same time, they're going to be manipulating ideas and thinking about ideas, some of which are new to them and some of them that are familiar. It'll be a really incredible experience.
And finally, you as our teachers, we really value you. Again, we can't wait to work with you and your students this year. Please check out the teacher packet. We've mentioned it a few times. This teacher packet will really help prepare you and your students for your visit at Philbrook. We're also really interested in partnering with teachers. If there's a way that you see that we can enhance your practice in your classroom or make a special experience for your students, please let us know. All of our contact information is in the packet. If you want to talk to us about an idea or an experiment, or if you have any questions about the teacher packet or the experience, please contact us. Our information's in the packet. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you here at Philbrook.